Hey there. I've been telling stories my whole life. I've written a dozen and a half movies, published over 120 books. Uh, but I gotta tell you, I'm getting a little bored. I know that sounds kind of crybabyish, and maybe it is, but you do enough of anything for a while and it gets boring. That's why when a member of our team came up with this idea, this new way of telling a story, I got pretty jazzed about it. And it works like this. I've created the shell of a sci-fi fantasy story, 12 chapters, and there's four characters in it, four primary characters in it. They're kind of superheroes, but they don't know it. They have supernatural powers that they really haven't developed. We got one guy from the South Sea Islands, Tiny, who is a botanist, and he can tell by the impact people's lives have on living organisms what type of people they are. We got a preschool teacher who's got a real strong affinity for children and for the underdog, and she's easy to underestimate, but she can really have these insights because of that. We've got a chef from Mexico, a real temperamental, who has a strong sense of smell and taste, so he can smell a person's character, if that makes sense. And then finally, we have a mathematician who is so brilliant that through probability and numbers, he can get a good idea of what the future is going to be. Anyway, these four people travel to all these exotic places around the world, trying to save the world. Um, but this is where you come in if you're interested. You become one of those four characters. You decide what that character does, what that character thinks, who that character is. Now, we have four storytellers on staff that will represent each of those characters. So you, with that storyteller, work together to design what happens in each chapter. Now, hopefully, if there's enough of you, then that plays each character, you get on Facebook and debate and argue and shout and whatever to determine what the best choice is, so that by the end of the week, you've made the decision where to go. There's 12 chapters. That's 12 weeks. So it's 3 months it lasts. Uh, and it costs money. It costs 29. It costs $30, and that's 12 into that's $2.50 a week. That's a cup of coffee. Uh, anyway, if you're a storyteller, or if you like writing, or if you just like to read but have an interactive experience as you're reading, you might want to look into this. We launched the first story October 1st, and you can find out more about us on thelastHarbingerExperience.com. I hope you check it out. I think it's going to be fun. Thanks.